All right, Dean. Well, I'm going to basically. So I've got the greenhouse here, and what I'm gonna what I'm gonna do is, as best as I can, I'm gonna try to make just a quick drawing here, because the last greenhouse file that you sent me was the greenhouses seem to be a little too big, but I'm not sure if maybe you drew them in metric. But in any case, this video will be a really good help on how to start this thing and how to set it up. So I guess I'm just looking at the drawings right now, and so yeah, we've got the 4 tank or greenhouses that are 36 by 100, and we've got that the shack that's out to the side. I'm just looking at the page that says PG Wheeler on it. So if we're both going to work off the same drawing, that might be the best way to do it. So to start, we'll go camera parallel projection, and then we'll pick the top view. In the other video, I show you that it's the top. If you don't have this view, it's in the toolbars, and it's in there. So now what we're looking at is just a projection down, looking down at basically the 3D SketchUp world. So what we'll do is I'm just going to draw. I won't make things too much 3D, but I'm just going to kind of lay it out the way that I would kind of approach this. So from here, I'll start with the tape measure tool, and from the looks of this drawing, it says that 16 feet from this property line, it looks like that's where the greenhouses start. So we'll grab the tape measure, drag it across, type in 16 feet. Now we have our setback line, it looks like. From there, from the green axis, it looks like we're 35 feet from the leftmost greenhouse. So what I'll do is I'll click this green axis, drag it across, type in 35 feet. So now we have our basic setback, so where we can start drawing our greenhouses. So if we know that this is the setback 16 feet from here, and this one is 35 feet from here, on the drawing it says that this first greenhouse is at that point. So from there we can grab our rectangle, and right from that intersection we're going to drag it up, and we're going to type in 36 feet, comma 100 feet. So down in the bottom right, you should have 36, 100 feet. Enter. Now we've got our first greenhouse right there. So from the looks of the drawing, I think that's a 7. So I think they're 7.5 feet away from each other. So again, we'll grab our trusty tape, and from this edge, we'll go 7.5 feet. And quick and easy way to do this for the next greenhouse is we'll just copy and paste it. So grab our selector tool, drag right to left, highlighting the greenhouse, go to move, and hit option, so then you get that plus. I believe it's option, but if it's not, it might be one of those 4 buttons down near the spacebar, but I believe it's option. So click that so you get the plus sign. Grab this far bottom left corner of the greenhouse, click it, drag it over, and now you've got this. So if these are all 7.5 feet away, we can kind of make the work easier and highlight this, grab this construction line. Oops. So if you highlight this greenhouse and then hold shift and then drag left to right to left across to get this construction line. Then we'll grab move, and everything should still be selected. And then we'll click option to get the plus sign on the move tool. Grab the top corner of the other greenhouse so we know where we're setting back from. Click, and then just drag it over once, and then hit option again to get the plus sign one more time because we still have all this geometry selected. Click and do that. So now we have 4 greenhouses set back 7.5 feet away from each other, set back 16 feet from this red line and 35 feet from this line. And I'm basically just going off of the drawing that you gave me, so I hope I'm doing this right. Next, I guess the next biggest thing we can grab are the tanks, the 6 water tanks. So from there, it says that the first 2 tanks are 35 feet away from the greenhouses. So we'll grab our tape measure, let's get a construction line, and we'll go from, it doesn't really matter which edge you pick. You could pick this one, you could pick this one, but just as long as we pick an edge from one of these greenhouses, click the edge, pull it over, pull it up, I should say, type in 35 feet. And now we have kind of a base point for where we're going to draw those tanks. So from the drawing, it looks like it's in between the first 2. If these are the first 2 greenhouses here, it looks like they start right here-ish. So that's good. Just trying to, I don't know, I'm not sure how big these tanks are. I'm just looking through the drawings now. It's okay. I'm not exactly sure how big the tanks are, but in any case, I think there might be a number here. It's hard to. It's hard to. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't know why that's happened. Okay. I don't know why that popped up. Because it's Windows and it's silly sometimes. Okay. Just from the drawing, I'm going to draw them at, well, I'm going to draw circles, but I'm going to draw them at a, let's see here. Let's go with a 10-foot radius. Actually, they look smaller. Well, let's go for a 6-foot radius. 8-foot radius, sure. So 8 foot. Yeah, that looks pretty close. So what I did was I grabbed a circle, I clicked, and I specified the radius at 8 foot. So what we'll do now is grab this circle, so right to left, move, and since we want the bottom edge to line up with this 35-foot mark, we're going to grab the end point of this circle and just grab it here, like that. So that's that tank. And it says that they're 6 feet apart. So the way to do that would be with your move tool still engaged and the circle still all highlighted. Click your option and make sure you're at this endpoint right here, like this. You don't want to grab like here, you want to make sure that you're grabbing right here at the endpoint. And click, and now you'll have this. So from this point, you know what we'll do? Okay, just because I don't want them to lock in place and get stuck together, we're going to make this a group. So from the last video, just highlight the material, right click, make group. So now the tanks are a group. We'll make these a group later, but for now we'll just make the tanks a group so it's easier to copy and paste. So from here, move, hit Option, so you get the plus sign, which is copy. You're going to want to get the end pointing group, click, and we're just going to make it so that it's, what I did is copied it over just so that it's touching this other one. And then from there we'll grab the move, click on it, move it to the left, type in 6 feet, and now we've got the tanks offset. So I believe they're probably 6 feet away from them, from north to south. It says 33 here, so I'll just highlight these, grab move, click Option, get the plus sign here, copy here, and then just hit Option again to get the copy paste feature. There. How we're doing for time? Oh, a couple minutes left. So grab these, move them up 6 feet, then grab these and move them up 6 feet. So now what we've got here is a basic outline to scale of just the greenhouses and the tanks for now. I guess later on we'll get into everything else, and we'll get into how to slope the land properly, because you said that the land kind of slopes away from these greenhouses. But that's all for now. Hope this wasn't too confusing, but shows you how to use grid lines and how to make everything kind of a little bit more precise, because SketchUp you can get pretty precise with it too. So I'll save as, and what I'll do is I'll save this in Dean's SketchUp folder, and I'll call this greenhouse max version. Yeah, okay, good. Save. So now I'll send this to you, and we'll get over on the next lesson.